Hello, world. It's just 7780 with another What Grinds My Gears, episode 39. The XCLOUD. We has all your games. So, I don't know where my head hurts. Spinning around, man. It's been I tell you, it'll be nice. One day, just kind of just see something from them, from our good friends over at Microsoft that's like, yo, Crackdown multiplayer reveal. Gears of War 5 details. Some release dates. We'll have a new IP for you. Confirming Fable. It would be nice just one of these days, just have some friggin' news about the games. Games first. As a gaming company, as a gaming platform holder, it is about everything but. And here we are again. Speculation, predictions, the future, the la 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 la. And no game news. And yesterday was going around that Crackdown 3 is delayed again. They moved it from the 22nd now to the 28th, but then people are saying that it wasn't confirmed from it was just confirmed for February. And now it's on the 28th, which is a Thursday. So is that a placeholder, or is this thing just going to get pushed? And who gives a shit anymore, really? Oh, but what are they going to announce at XO18? They're going to buy studios, and we're going to buy this. And then, this studio is going to make this. And somebody's yelling, oh, no, don't make that. No, Obsidian shouldn't make Crackdown. Crackdown should be a Fable. Fable shouldn't be made by Obsidian. No, they're not going to buy. We're talking for a Fable that has not been confirmed with a studio that has not been bought. Why are we creating fucking Phil Spencer bedtime stories? When this is the news that comes out of their mouths. This is the news that we get. We get keyboard and mouse support for Xbox. We get Halo at Dave & Buster's. We get Gears Tactics for PC exclusively. We get a new Minecraft game for Dungeon Crawler that's like Diablo exclusively for PC. This is the news that's really coming out. This is not Fable. This is not Conquer. This is not Perfect Dark. This is nothing. This is the shit that we see. And I have to just clear up, like, why? Because I just feel like it's so weird that, and I'm going to get into this fucking cloud shit bullshit. But first I was going to say, like, it's kind of confusing because I'm all torn. And I said this so many times before. I see where they're going. And I think it's just me, but I just don't want them to go there. I just want them to be what they were. And this fall from grace. And this just kind of just throw our shit against the wall. Options. And people telling me that this is the future. How can a company that can't sell the fucking console to their own users is expect to sell their games to somebody playing on a fucking tablet in Japan or in overseas in Korea? Who, if you cannot satisfy the core group and you can't sell a console, how are you going to sell a service? This is what I don't understand from them. You are revealing services without games. And you call this a gaming service. They should be hunkering down right now and getting people hyped for the games that they are producing. And the deals that they're making, these are not just first party fucking things. When Sony had no fucking games early this generation, they had indie partnerships, they had some exclusive deals with games, they had some things going on. Microsoft is complacent. They just sitting there and just expecting for the goodwill of the world that they're going to get kumbaya and everybody's going to just sign up for their services and subscriptions and game passes and Xbox Live and whatever this Project XCloud is going to cost. It's not going to be free. No way are they building these Azure servers. Somebody's going to pay for that. Just like OneDrive's not free. They get you with that. They'll give you a little taste, but they're going to charge you. And I saw an article from this with this interview with XCloud. I shared it on my Twitter feed. And basically they said they want to get all 3,000 games on the cloud, like on this service, which makes it look like that this is not just Game Pass in the cloud. They are going to try to turn every phone and every tablet into an Xbox, and the fact that all the games will be available, and whether to purchase or whether to subscribe. So this is kind of where they want to go. This is not just Game Pass in the cloud. This is that they want to basically put their ecosystem on this cloud for people to subscribe to on any device. So first, the thing is that I understand that this is what they want to do with reaching out to 2 billion gamers. All right? A way to grow their install base. And what's up, chat? Before I get into this, buddy boy, Stardust, JM, what's up? And yeah, buddy boy, in response to Google. Well, Google thing, I can get into that, but yeah. So I understand that this is them trying to do it. I'm just really kind of, I don't know where to go with this shit. I could go off the deep end and rant my ass off about this stuff, but it's not going to do anything. But I'm just going to talk about how I feel, because this is how I feel about this thing. Now, just to put in perspective, I had Xbox 15 years, Xbox Live from the first time it came out. I love the service. I love the aggressiveness. I love the 360. And over the past year or so, I played less and less on my Xbox because they weren't offering anything. And Phil Spencer kept talking about PC. So I went to go get a Surface Book. And I realized how much that Surface Book was. And it didn't have the graphics card in that thing, thinking that was the gaming thing. So I was going to put this in perspective. So I returned the Surface Book, and it was janky as hell. I can't believe how it came to me like broken. Like it had no battery. I couldn't remove the head, the top of it. Very, very disappointed. I even got invited to Insider Device Night. I went there for Microsoft, and I got to test it out, and got to test out Forza on PC and all those, because that's what they were doing. So what I did was I returned the Surface Book and I got an Alienware computer, and I've been playing their games on Alienware. So it's like I could criticize them for putting it over here, but basically they kind of forced me to be here, where I didn't have to renew my Xbox Live. I could chat with everybody with my phone, with my computer, and not pay a dime, and use that money to go get another game, because I buy tons of games. And I don't play with keyboard and mouse. I use a controller. So this seems the best adaptability for me, that these games, and also too, I didn't want to wait for the X, because I didn't know what the X was going to be. So I basically play these games at higher resolutions and stuff like that, better than the S on my computer, while everybody, before the X was even announced or the X was even coming out, or Project Scorpio. And I ran out and bought a VR system, because he said high fidelity VR is going to be supported on the X, which they took away, and now they don't do anymore, which never even did. And I thought that was going to be supported on the console. So I was like, hey, I could get to try all this stuff out now. I could play it on my PC. And then when the X comes out, I'll get it. And then when they just priced the X out there and they had no launch games, no real great games, the X was useless to me. And I just stuck with my PC. This is great. I'm not a PC gamer. I play on console. And I've been playing on the PlayStation now, because they have a whole bunch of games, and they keep bringing more games. And I realized that, I deprived myself of these games for a long time because I was focused solely on Xbox, thinking they were going to give me what I wanted. And now playing VR with the PlayStation, with the games, I've opened my eyes to be like, Xbox, you got to step it up. And this is not the way. What you need to be doing right now is making games. You need to be selling the games, and then the services will follow. I've been saying this forever and ever. Games drive the service. They keep talking about Netflix and streaming. Oh, Netflix, wherever you go. There are a lot of streaming services. You subscribe to them because of the unique content that they do. If Hulu and Netflix all showed the same movies, what are you going to do? You're gonna subscribe because you like red versus green? If they show the same movies? No. It's the exclusive content that they're making or the deals that they get, like Disney going to Netflix for a while, and then Netflix making Stranger Things and House of Cards and stuff like that. That is the reason why you subscribe to Netflix, because of the content that they're providing. And Microsoft and gamers out there, I just think we've lost focus. We lost focus on what a game, like what games are. It's about games. Games. Gamers are consumers. It's about the games. The games drive the services. We should not be saying this is a success like before it even comes out, this XCloud thing. Because you look at PlayStation Now and go back to 2014 CES. Over 4 years ago, they announced PlayStation Now streaming, and they showed everything. Tablets, TVs. They even had the TVs in there that you didn't even need a console. You could just play a controller to a TV and play and stream. And you could rent on PlayStation Now. That's how it started, with renting games. You could rent them, and then you could subscribe. And then they got rid of the whole rental stuff, and now they're doing a subscription thing. And now they went backwards and just said, hey, now you can natively download. Because if you remember, last year or before PlayStation Now included downloads, the world was like, Xbox Game Pass is the best because it's native. It's native. Xbox Game Pass is native. It's native. It's native. And now all of a sudden Microsoft's talking XCloud, and everybody's like, this is the future. This is the future. I'm confused because I thought the whole reason why Game Pass was what it is, and the whole reason why probably Sony made the PlayStation Now movement, was because the big thing about playing natively on the console hardware that you purchased. Now, because XCloud is here and this whole thing, all of a sudden now streaming is the acceptable way to play games. I liked PlayStation Now. I didn't think it was as bad as everybody said it was. But it was not the ideal place to play. And there were quirks with even plugged in with just latency, not even latency, but just the you see the artifacts when you're playing online. It's not as clean. There's some fuzz to it, some haze. I've used the NVIDIA Shield. I actually have a video on here where I compare all the online services. I have an NVIDIA Shield and use the NVIDIA game streaming. I think it runs better than PlayStation Now, but it has a lot of old games on there. So it's not something that I'm willing to sit down and play these old games like Sonic Racing and kind of like Just Cause 2. And I'm like, I don't want to. And they got some new games in there. And the way they compensate for it is that not only do they let you buy the games while you subscribe, so you pay $7 a month and subscribe to the NVIDIA Shield, the streaming, a GeForce Now, they call it. Not only do you subscribe to it, but then that allows you to buy the games. But when you buy the games, they also give you a Steam code. And the Steam code now gives it to you physically, like you basically have it natively as well. So that is currently going on right now. And OBJ, yeah, I just said, PlayStation Now, they had it everywhere. They had it on the Vita. They had it on their TVs, on the Xperia tablets, and they had it on their Sony TVs, and they had it on the PlayStation 3. And then they basically turned it down and said, but they put it on PC and PlayStation 4. They basically, both of them are working in reverse. I don't understand how Microsoft sees this as promising when their competitors have failed at it. And I'm not even talking about Sony. Google has failed at this. Not streaming. I'm going to get into that, but the mobile stuff. I'm going to get into that because I've done this too. because I'm experiencing from my experience. I've always loved the concept of taking my games where I go. But I'm talking more about the streaming aspect. GeForce Now has this already, but you also get the native game. It seems that streaming I don't have an issue with, but it is not the ideal place to play. Okay. And I see consistently they compare it to Netflix. Oh, but you're the center of the user. I see people watching Netflix on their phone. It's totally different. And now we're going to get into that. The difference between gaming and video and music is that video and music are passive experiences. You could be listening from your sound speakers. You could be listening from your headphones. You could be listening you could be watching TV on your little 7-inch phone, or what's up, Life and Time? How you doing, man? On your 7-inch phone, or your 50-inch TV, or your 100-inch screen projector. You could be watching Netflix on it. Just the experience of viewing on what the size of the TV is different. With gaming, mobile, PC, and console have 3 unique input devices, and these are interactive experiences, and they are specialized for interactivity. Your PC has your keyboard and mouse, yes, and also there's variations. You can do keyboard and mouse and controller on a mobile phone. I'm talking about the primary input methods. Console, the primary input method is a controller. Keyboard and mouse is the primary input method for a computer. Touch is the primary input method for phones and tablets. Okay? They're 3 different interfaces. For example, look at what Android did. Where's your Android tablets? Why is the iPad still around? iPad made games specifically for the iPad, that they were tablet experiences. If you look at any review to this day about Android tablets, Samsung has the brand new $500-$600 kind of a PC hybrid Android tablet. The biggest complaint is that the App Store no tablet optimized apps. Each of these devices warrants unique experiences. Games need to be made for each of those items. I guess Microsoft does believe in that, because they said specifically the Minecraft game and also Gears Tactics, they want specifically to make that for the PC to make sure it works. So obviously Microsoft feels the same way. To make something successful on a certain input device, you need to target that input device. You cannot say it works everywhere day one, because there's going to be some caveats. And especially when you go to touch. Microsoft has learned this with the one app. Android has learned this. One app, oh, it's scalable. Developers, that sounds nice to them, but in reality, it doesn't make an optimized app and a great experience. And this is the problem that goes with bringing console games to mobile devices. In that video, and I'm sure you've seen it, with Phil Spencer, they have shown people playing on touch screens with Halo, Gears of War, Forza, and fucking Cuphead. Who is using touchscreen on not an iPad to play streaming Cuphead? Who? Please. Is that the market? Are there people sitting there with iPads and with fucking Android tablets just chomping at the bit to go play Halo 5 on a fucking tablet? Is that who Microsoft thinks needs to grow their market when they can't sell more than 50 fucking consoles in fucking Japan? That's who they want. That's who needs these games. That's who needs these experiences. A fucker on a 7-inch phone that wants to play fucking Cuphead using his thumbs on a touchscreen? That's the 2 billion gamers. That's who you're reaching out to. That's who you want. You can't even sell the fucking X worth the fucking damn. It hasn't won an MPD since it launched. The most powerful console, the most amazing thing. Yeah, people didn't even fucking run around and know that there's games with that fucking console. That's why it's not selling. It hasn't even won an MPD since it launched. Ever. And you look at these weekly sales on UK charts. They can't sell their fucking console. They're gonna sell these games. He says in the beginning of this fucking video, oh, wouldn't it be great if the world played Halo? Where does he say this shit? He says, wouldn't it be great if the world played Halo? You know what, Phil? The question that you got to ask is, does the world want to play Halo? That's the question you should be asking. Not wouldn't it be great? It's because it's accessibility. No, you should be asking, does the world want to play Halo? Does the world want to play Halo 5 with that shit-ass fucking story? That's what you should be asking. Does the world want to play Sea of Thieves? Does the world want to play State of Decay 2? Because from the fucking sales and from its Twitch views and all that other shit, it doesn't look like the world gives a flying fuck. So you got to be asking, does the world want to play? Not it's because an Xbox app is downloaded from the Google's Chrome store on a fucking phone in Japan that's an Xbox user. That's some Trojan horse bullshit. You got to make the games, and then the people will play. You can't put low quality grade bullshit out there. Because trust me, if the world wanted to play Halo, if the world wanted to play these games that you're offering, I think your Xbox would be selling probably a lot better than what it currently is. So I think that they're just thinking that, yo, if we just able to throw our shit out there, it gives us more opportunities. It's like, hey, those carnival games, you got a better chance throwing 1,000 balls to knock down the boxes as opposed to just only having one ball. So Microsoft figures if they could throw their shit out to 1 billion people, they have a better chance of selling these shit-ass games rather than making quality games. Because I saw this. What's up, Finest? How you doing, man? I saw this shit. I knew it was just going to go left. I knew this fucking shit was going to go left because I'm fucking fuming. I knew people saying, oh, but Fortnite. People are playing Fortnite on the phone. People are playing PUBG on the phone. Let me explain. People are playing Minecraft on their iPads. Yes. Because those games earned it. They earned to cross barriers. Fortnite is a phenomenon. There are games that cross barriers. There are games that will work in this model. The games that they shown in their fucking little video are not the games that are going to... Gears of War is not going to go crazy playing on a fucking iPad. And nonetheless, let me give you this little news hint. The Xbox controller, Bluetooth and all, does not work with an iPad. Okay? The Xbox. What's up, Callie? And Gameplays, what's up? And Andrew Wilkins, what's up, man? And Daniel, yo. And I said it, Crosshairs. I've said it so many times. They want to be an app. And you know what? Let them be an app. Let them be the fucking app. But then take your console, wrap that up, turn that fucking bitch sideways, and shove it straight up your candy ass. Because that console, get rid of it. You don't give a shit about the console. Get the fuck out. Just turn into an app. Jerk off on the phones. Jerk off on your PC. And call it a day. Because the biggest problem I have is you can't be in two places at once. You either want to, you cannot be selling a core console and meanwhile poking your dick in every fucking phone and tablet that's out there. All right? You can't do that. So either you're all in or all out. But you cannot sell a console. How are you fucking going to sell an app? How are you going to sell a service? You got to make the games. And every news piece that comes out from them is all about the services, the subscriptions. Yay, yay, yay. Sign me up. It's not about the games. And you're still talking Halo and Cuphead. Yes, I want to find that person who is sitting around in, the casuals that's sitting around at a fucking Starbucks and is just waiting to download his app on his Android phone to play fucking Cuphead. Where is that person? Where is that person sitting around in South Korea with an Android tablet just waiting to play Halo 5 with their fingers on a touchscreen? You know the problem with touchscreens? I'm going to tell you that. You only got 2 fucking thumbs. Okay? You move with the left, you aim with the right. And maybe you tap it to shoot. You got no other you don't use your index fingers. Unless you're playing like a fucking cat and it's on the floor and you're just pouncing on it. Okay? So, yeah. And if you watch the video, Fuckface says, "Oh, this is for the people." Let me hear what Fuckface had to say. I'll tell you what Fuckface has to say. Where's Fuckface? Hold on. I'll mute this motherfucker here.
There's still going to be a flagship systems.
This guy.
But what's incredible is for the never seen a franchise like Halo or never seen a franchise like Gears.
Here we go. This guy.
People who've never seen a franchise like Halo or never seen a franchise like Gears. It's pretty big. We have it up and running today.
So for people who haven't seen a franchise like Halo or a franchise like Gears, it's pretty amazing. And what they do is they show you somebody playing Gears of War on a tablet. So Microsoft thinks that somebody's experience with Gears of War, if they never had any interest with it, they should experience it on a tablet. It's a desperation move. That game is not made for a tablet. And I'm not even talking about streaming it to a tablet. I'm talking about just natively. If this was native, it would not work. Streaming, who the hell knows? But we are talking about a tablet. And I'm going to tell you something. Well, now we're going to say, oh, but wait, we could just take an Xbox controller and slap it to a phone. MOGA controllers that Android has been trying to do with mobile apps and trying to get you to use the MOGA. I had the fucking MOGA. They were handing it out fucking 4 years ago at PAX East. Handing out Bluetooth MOGA controllers. So that you could put your phone in the fucking little clip and you could play it that way. And that's with native mobile games and even with emulators and playing like NES and Super NES games on it. It still was like, how many of your friends are pulling a controller out of their ass while they're waiting in line at Starbucks? Yo, man, I got to catch up onto this move. Hold on. Let me pull my fucking Xbox One controller out my ass. And here, let me plug it in here and do that. People are like, what the hell is that thing? How many people do you see mobile gaming with that contraption? It's been around. Sony's done it. Android's been doing it. Apple has like bullshit. That contraption of putting your phone inside of a controller has been around. Who's doing it? Nobody. Because you want to know why? There are specific games made for mobile devices that people play. Your Candy Crushes, Words of Friends. And yeah, you might have some people crossing over in Fortnite because there are some rarities. These are not extremes. But this cannot be the market that Microsoft thinks is really sitting out there waiting to play. That's where I'm like, whoa. You think there's more people hungry to play touchscreen Gears of War than sitting on your Xbox console right now wanting to play some new games from you? And that's where it is. It's like the news that comes out of them is not about the games. It's about just giving people more options to buy stuff. Options. I hear people, it's an option, Jez. It's an option. It's an option. You want to know what else? I could take a shit in a fucking bucket. That's an option. Do I do it? Oh. I don't have to. Why hold it and wait for the toilet bowl? Take a shit in a bucket. It's an option. And I said it on the last show. You need real options. I think it's pawned off as an excuse. Like, oh, it's an option. It's not for you. Exactly, Callie. You could buy a PlayStation 4. It's an option. You could buy a Switch. It's an option. And I'm telling you, it's a matter of time before these apps, this Xbox app is sitting on your PlayStation or sitting on your Switch. And I'm going to tell you, it is going to be Nintendo and Sony that prevent it from going there. Microsoft doesn't. That's where they want it. You got to understand, Microsoft has failed. They have failed. Xbox has failed. Microsoft is defined as a fucking company, even though they're Windows 10 bullshit. Xbox has failed. It has failed so bad this generation. They are scraping at the walls to try to make their gaming division profitable. They're done. They are just horrendous. Just look at every monthly NPDs. They are in third every fucking month. And people are saying, oh, they're year over year. Well, guess what? That doesn't hold effect until November because guess what? This year they got 2 consoles out there. Last year they had 1. Last year they had the S. Of course they're going to be year over year. They got an X. They got a brand new console. Nonetheless, it's fucking price almost 2 of them. We'll see in November if they're year over year. They have done so bad. They are looking at PC and seeing all those potential customers over there. If they could just put their games over there. They're looking at mobile and tablets. Guys, those are people that are not going to buy consoles. Let's go put our shit over there. And what you're doing, you're whoring out all your franchises, all the things that made your console unique, all the games. And you want to know, hey, you're talking crazy. Guys, what would Nintendo be without Super Mario Brothers? What would the original Xbox be without Halo? What would PlayStation 2 be without GTA 3? And what will PlayStation 1 be without Twisted Metal, without Crash, without Resident Evil, without Final Fantasy? And what would Xbox 360 be without Gears of War? Time has shown that every console is purchased because of a game that needs to be played. That needs to be played. And people will go buy that console. Just like the people that just came out in droves to play Spider-Man, to buy the God of War console, to buy for Halo 5. This is not all on Sony. This is just the facts of time. People buy your console. You just basically just said, fuck the console. You could play all these games anywhere. But we're still trying to sell you a console. $500. Please buy it. How? People, I don't get it. How? It sounds like you don't want... Here. Where does he say it again? Where does he say it?
Halo, when everybody in the world could play Red Dead Redemption. Everybody in the world could play the games.
Can play the games. Do they want to play your games? That's the question. And that's the question as a gamer you should be asking. These moves that Microsoft's making, yay, good for them. But they're putting the cart before the horse. You got to make desirable games to drive the services. Just look, and if you don't believe me, look at how the Xbox One X has done. The Xbox One X, and you got to only go on NPDs because they won't share the numbers. You made a piece of hardware without comparable software. You depended on third party to show the power of this. And what? You bought an X for what? To see a little bit higher resolution, and you could clap when Digital Foundry says that you're running at a higher resolution. But does anybody turn to the left and look at what the S is doing resolution-wise? It was like 756p on a fucking Assassin's Creed. It's a disaster. But I digress. Look how that took off. Remember last year at this time, people like the X is the next coming. The power narrative, we're going to win. The powerful console is going to win. This is the changing of the tides. Phil Spencer promised us the X is going to be it. It's going to be it. And it came out, didn't win MPD, and is sitting on store shelves. It is sitting there. They have not been aggressive with the price, but they have not had the games to drive and show the power. They needed a God of War-esque type of game, a game that looks graphically better, even if it's lower resolution on the lower platform. At least something to tout and show the graphic capabilities. Not 4K number. People need to look and go, holy shit, that's running on an Xbox? And they didn't have it. And because they didn't have it and they don't have it, the X is doing what? And as an example, you're going to put this service on the phones. Who the fuck is going to carry around the Xbox controller and that contraption to play a game from 6 years ago? They want to play new games. They want to play amazing games. You got to make amazing games, and people will deal with that. I would, hey, shit, I'm on the shit. I got a tablet. Yo, but that game is hot as shit. I got to play it right now, like Fortnite. Yo, man, my progress. I had a crazy night last night. I got to play this game right now. The game is what pulls you in. The games. And we've lost that. Or the Xbox core group has lost that. They got so fucking teary-eyed over Phil Spencer saying, I'm sorry. And saying that he bought studios. Guys, fucking bought studios. These sons of bitches come out today and have a video about streaming in the cloud and have the balls to announce a beta of this coming next year in 2019. But they are tight-lipped like a son of a bitch on what Crackdown 3 is and when it's going to come out. Where the fuck is Ashen? Where the fuck is Battletoads? What the fuck is Fable? Confirm that game? What the hell those other studios are working on? What types of games? What genre of games? Anything. We don't know anything about the games that they're making, the content that they're producing. But I know more about the cloud, about fucking Azure, about fucking Game Pass, about Day One Game Pass, about Play Anywhere, about play this on my asshole and play that on your ass. I don't know the fuck what they're talking about. I know more about the bullshit than the fucking games. Yes, Crackdown 3 is supposed to have a fucking beta. 3 years ago. This is, and what? They're going to reveal another a console at XO18 that streams the games, that supports this streaming service? And then, and I know more about Project Scarlet. And the streaming service. We know more about this stuff than the games themselves. And that should be a concern. That should be like, yo, these sound great, but what am I going to do with it? And that's the same question people asked with the X. This is great. 6 teraflops. My goodness. Like, this is amazing. but what can I play on it? And obviously the answer has not been met because obviously it's not doing too hot. And maybe they're winning MPDs. Who the hell knows? But it hasn't been until now. And it wasn't when it launched. But it's all about the games. You could have a streaming service. You could be streaming. You could be doing all you want to do. And, the thing is that Sony has done this with PlayStation Now already. Now, you could say it's shit service. That's why they put it on Android phones. They put it on Xperia phones. They put them on their TVs. They put it on PC. They put it on tablets. They had it everywhere on the PlayStation 3, on the Vita. And they pulled it all off of that because I'm sure people weren't playing it on there. Just like Microsoft's going to find out, little Timmy on his iPhone is not going to want to play touchscreen Halo 5. And nobody's walking around with an Xbox One controller in their back pocket to clamp their phone in to play a session of Forza Horizon. Okay? It might sound neat, but it's not the norm. It is a little golf clap, like everything fucking else they've been announcing. Like, keyboard and mouse support. They're all golf claps. All golf claps. This is not what they need to be focusing on. Right now, they should be resurrecting IP. They should be talking about Battletoads, talking about Perfect Dark, talking about Conker, talking about Banjo, talking about all their intentions of making these games and bringing back. Go back to the speech that he had in 2014 and when he's talking about on E3 about bringing franchises back and making great games and talking about it and show that shit. Show those games. I just love that it's like, XO18, this is it. I thought E3 was it. I thought Gamescom was it. And now we're at XO18, is it? Like, how many times are they going to have to tease you with the carrots? Meanwhile, they don't wait to XO18 or E3 to announce game streaming bullshit. Actually, he did announce it at E3. I'm wrong. Because why would he? He has all Xbox fans in the crowd. Let's go announce Gears Tactics. Let's go announce game streaming. And let's go announce the next Scarlet. They need to reach out to these 2 billion gamers. And I've said this before. I have 2 problems. And I don't know, don't seem to get it. And I don't know. Maybe you guys in chat, I think you guys get it. I appreciate all the support. And I'm glad that people think like me, that I'm not a fucking wacko. 2 things. You don't make games for the service. You don't make me service-based games. All right? You make the games as an art. You make the games to tell a story. You make the games for engagement. You do not make the games to try to suck every fucking nickel and dime out of somebody. Or tease content that wasn't in the game to begin with, but you're going to trickle it out over time. Or come a game shipped with bugs and shit and say, I'm going to put 30 patches in it. It should be running soon. Keep saying subscribed. You don't make games for a service. If you're going to, you balance it out with unique games that do not have that service bullshit into it. You don't make all your games a service. You could balance it out. But if you're going to make your games for Game Pass with that Game Pass model in mind, and that was my fear, then let's see. Let's see how you have a single content game with no loot boxes, no bullshit, Microsoft Studios game. Let's go. Let's see it in Game Pass day one. It's going to be the very few, I'm sure. And requiring people to play Forza Horizon. You got to subscribe to Xbox Live and Game Pass at the same time. But you don't make games for the service. Secondly, you have to make the games and the services will come. I am tired of just hearing about the services, delivery methods, Windows 10 Store, PC Play Anywhere. Like, that's another thing. People say it's options. Well, come on. Let's talk about options. Play Anywhere. It's been out for years. This is not a beta. It's been out for years right now. It's been out 3 years or so. I think there's probably about 30 games, and I think about 26 of them are indies. There was 2 games, Marvel vs. Capcom, Resident Evil, and Shadow of War, I think, are the other 3 games that were third-party publishers that did play anywhere. Buy it once on Xbox, you get it on PC. Another option that just seems to be whatever. Microsoft's the only one that's doing it, and whatever indies they could throw on it. That's an option. And that Windows 10 store is shit, so it's poor quality. As Savage said, it's all about quality. That store's horrible. Nobody even wants to bother with it, so devs don't bother with it. Another option. Oh, all these VR options for Windows 10. How are those doing? I don't see them mentioned anywhere. I see Vive and Oculus keeps reviving shit. And PlayStation VR having amazing games on it. That's not even, I can't even go on Moss and Astrobot. And what was that? The Fire Bravo, not the Fire Team Bravo, the Firewall. Oh my God, with the aim controller, I was streaming on my channel. Like, yo, these are experiences. These are amazing things with VR that Microsoft doesn't even touch with a 10-foot pole. And that impacts me because it's new games for me, new experiences for me. It's not no service bullshit that I got to anticipate sitting here going, what do you think in 2 years? Are we going to be driving cars without wheels? Maybe. Fucking cares 2 years from now. 2 years ago, did you know that Battle Royale was going to be a thing? So to sit here and tell me that this bullshit is the future, I hope you were around when you told me that Battle Royale was going to take over multiplayer and be in your Call of Duty and your Battlefield and everything else. That's a long time in gaming, 2 years. It's a long time. Somebody might come out with some bullshit you wear on your head and you control everything with your mind. You don't need a controller anymore. So to sit here and predict is ridiculous. I'm talking about the now, the today, to walk into a store and buy it today. These experiences are the ones I'm talking about. And that's the stuff that should matter. Not what's coming down the pipeline, because they don't even tell you game-wise what's coming down. They could sit there and bolster about services a year and a half out and talk about a fucking Project Scarlet. Yeah, we're making another one. But you won't tell me Crackdown's official release date. But they're all dicks out in the wind with their services. Woo! We'll tell you everything for the next 3 years. I'll tell you, we'll be playing on fucking little USB thumbstick Xboxes. We're working on it right now. Phil, when's Crackdown coming out? Oh, shit! I don't like to talk too early about things. You know, I want to tell when stuff's ready. I don't want to talk about stuff too early now. But Phil, you basically just fucking told us you're 2 years that we're going to be playing in the cloud. Oh, yeah, I know I did that. So, Phil, where's Below? It was 6 years ago. We talked too early on that one. I don't like to talk too early on games. Games they don't talk about. Keyboard and mouse support. Halo Dave and Buster's shit. We fucking talking about it. The Project Scarlet, the streaming services, that they all talk about. They have no problems talking about that future a year or so from now. A beta to public possibly next year. Meanwhile, our Crackdown beta was promised 3 years ago. This is the problem I have. It's not about the streaming. It's not about the service and putting the bullshit on the phone. Because you know what? I don't think that's a big market anyway. And I think that fine, they'll target that market, but that's not a 1.5 billion people sitting there to wait to play Gears of War on a touchscreen, streaming over the internet. Like I don't know if that's the person that's sitting there that they think they're going to get a new Xbox Live subscriber from it. And that's the other thing. What's the cost of this? Do you pay to you pay? So you're sitting there with your Android phone. You are just a brand new, like he said, somebody who never saw Halo before. So do you pay to subscribe to the Game Pass to play Halo? Then you got to pay for Xbox Live to play online. And you don't even own a console, so you're going to invest in an online service and the streaming service and the Game Pass service just to play on your phone? Or you're going to pay, you're going to like buy Gears of War for $50 and you're going to own it streaming? And hopefully the games that you own digitally do work in this for free? Because that's the only place I could see is if you're an Xbox user, you take the game on the go. I guess if you want to bring your controller with you, because I don't know if you're really going to want to play any of those games, Cuphead or anything, on a tablet. But I do this thing because I am just tired. And I tweeted it out and actually got a lot of likes. Because I think people feel the same way. It would be so nice just to see Crackdown reveal, Fable confirmed. Here's some gameplay of Battletoads or something like that. Just go look at their Xbox Wire. There's no coverage of games, of anything. Yeah, and they're Fortnite free to play. Yeah, they got rid of that thing. Yeah, let's play Fortnite free to play on everything except for Xbox. But it's all about accessories. It's all about the services of Game Pass and now this cloud and keyboard and mouse and more controllers. But meanwhile, we have a whatever few games that Xbox people have. And they say, Jez, why does this bother you? Because you want to know what? Seeing on PC and going into that Windows store, I'm directly affected by the quality and output of their studios because I'm not invested in their fucking console with that service bullshit. I'm seeing the raw output of them right now. And their raw output is fucking trash, except for Forza. That is the only game that is worth the damn. But that game has been quality. Forza 3 was great. Forza 4 is great. But that's the only game that delivers. Just like that was the only game that delivered 1080p, 60 frames per second, 4K, 60 frames per second, Forza 7, right? That's why I didn't buy the X, because I was like, wait, if they come out, they're going to come out and just show Forza running at 4K 60 just to fucking say it. And that's exactly what they did. The most optimized engine. They wrote 4K 60, Forza 7, and that's it. They wrapped it up. They go, oh, we run 4K 60, call it a day. Not one game since has done that. And I knew it. When I said it, I was like, oh, they're going to show, if they come out and just show Forza on the X, I'm not buying it because that game is going to run that way. But that I need to see other games doing that. And they didn't show any other games. And we're now almost a year in, and we have not seen another game besides Forza 7 running at 4K 60. That's it. And Forza Horizon 4 doesn't run at 4K 60. It runs at 4K 30, or you can do 1080p 60. I knew it was a sham. Forza is their one thing that they got. Forza actually is probably better quality than Halo has been. Like, it's been more reliable. And I just can't believe how hungry, how starved Halo and Gears has been. Like, Gears of War 4 was a cash-in. The story was all right. The story was okay. I wanted more of it. The multiplayer was just a rehash of everything else. It was nothing innovative at all, except they added bounty cards. Yay. I think Halo Warzone was the most innovative thing and the most exciting thing that I saw this generation for them for Halo 5 was the Warzone. And they had cards in it, but I liked Warzone. I thought that was interesting, trying to mix. And look what happened. Bungie kind of took the idea, and they basically said, like, let's throw AI in there with their new Gambit mode in Destiny 2. You got to be innovative. But you got to bring games, Microsoft. I just don't understand it. And I hate people, oh, they're coming. They're bringing some great games. Huh? You got some fucking crystal ball? Because I'm going on based on what they showed. And I'm not sitting here going, "Oh, compulsive games. They got an amazing game." What's up, Savage? We got to see what they've shown. What have they shown? Let's not make stories up. I don't want to hear, "Oh, Playground's working on 2 games. Ninja Theory, rumor, Ninja Theory's making 3 games. Ninja Theory's making 3 games. Oh, we got 5 there." We're talking out our asses here, people. Talking out our asses. They have not said that. They still have never confirmed Fable. They better do it at XO. They got to. But they never confirmed Fable. Oh, they're making it. Oh, yeah, okay, they're making it. One trailer could ruin that game. It could look like some cartoon bullshit, and there goes your Fable hype for all year. You got to make great games. You got to show these games, and you got to be behind these games. Just like with Sea of Thieves. I remember talking before Sea of Thieves. They didn't expect that game worked a shit. Microsoft didn't expect it. Instead, they saw how the beta said and said, "Oh, people look like they care about this game." You know what else is a sad thing? Forza Horizon 4. Day after Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2 came out, Greenberg was all over saying the Twitch numbers of streaming are skyrocketed. He didn't say shit about Forza. And look, Forza's not up there in streaming. It's up, I think on Mixer it's up there. But Twitch, man, it's like number 18 or 20. But he's not talking about that. They're not talking about how many millions of people went through the seasons or anything like that. And that's a great game. Do they feel like that game doesn't need to get promoted? Just watch the whole day of NFL football and Walking Dead. And it was all brought to you by Microsoft Surface and the fucking laptop. And then I saw PlayStation commercials for Call of Duty. Didn't even see a commercial for Assassin's Creed. When Microsoft had the marketing behind Assassin's Creed? I don't fucking know, but they still didn't even do a Forza commercial at all. And please don't tell me nobody watches TV. All right? Because you go to a bar and see how many fucking TVs they got showing ESPN and football on a Sunday. They're 30 TVs, man. You go put a fucking ad on that with a game, people looking up like, "Oh, what's that?" All right? It is something they have disbanded and they do not do. And it's horrible. Fucking Mario even threw itself in the Apple commercial with the new X. They threw that Mario run in there. It's sad. And Forza Horizon is worth great marketing and stuff like that. Hell, it even worked an amazing accessory. Why don't you come out with a wireless wheel or something like that? Like, come out with an accessory to go that you got these great racing franchises, support them. No, instead they'd rather show you Forza Horizon 4 running on a fucking Android phone and an iPad. Tell me where their priorities are. I would have said, make a fucking wheel. Give me the best, give me the no custom console either. Exactly. Give me the best force feedback and let's launch it with Forza Horizon 4. We got an excellent game here. Let's do it. And we'll make that wheel forward compatible. People will love it. Let's go do it. People will buy the wheel just like they buy arcade sticks. Gamers love to accessorize. They know they're selling tons of fucking controllers, right? Put a wheel with your amazing game Forza. Put a Forza branded wheel. First party accessories. It doesn't take a genius. I'm not talking about make God of War. I'm talking about just do something that shows that you give a shit about the console and the games. You don't even make a controller about games. You make a fucking midnight blue and sky red and bullshit green. RetroCon fucking Retro Tech blue and fucking. You don't even make it about a fucking game. You got all this IP. Make a fucking Killer Instinct controller. Make a God of, make a fucking Halo controller. Another one. Make a Gears controller. Even if you don't have the game coming out, but holy shit, make some of the franchises come on. Jeez. I saw the two stores. I saw Xbox launched a branded store with the name Xbox on it. PlayStation wants some store. They got all games shit. Buy a little Bandicoot, buy a God of War statue, buy this thing from the game replicas. Microsoft gives you a fucking black and white hoodie that says Xbox on it. Celebrate your IP. D about the games. Stop this service bullshit. Because without the games, your service is shit. Nobody's going to subscribe and go through the connecting activities and all this stuff if there are no unique games on there. And if you are just going to do third-party old-ass games on there, like the NVIDIA GeForce Now does and all that other stuff, nobody's going to want to play. Nobody's going to subscribe. You have something unique in Xbox Game Pass where you're releasing games day and date. Nobody's doing that. It's just if you could bring high quality games with that service, then people will subscribe. But we haven't seen high quality games. And unfortunately, the next one that we're all expecting is Crack Delay 3, which already is now on February 28th. Placeholder, hope. But it's all about the games. Like the video if you believe it's all about the games, because that's what it is about. Nobody would be buying the Switch if it didn't launch with Zelda and didn't have Mario and didn't have Smash Brothers this holiday. It's about the games. And if you have no games, unique games, nobody's going to buy it. And just look, Mindshare, developer Mindshare, look how the Switch has made devs want to put their games on there because it's a growing market. Meanwhile, Square Enix, Microsoft has to beg them to put a game on there. They just come out blatantly and go, yeah, Killer Instinct, Kingdom Hearts, we're putting them all together, nice package. We're going to sell that on PlayStation exclusively. Castlevania, yeah, exclusively. They don't even want to put that shit on Xbox. That's a problem. That means that you have no clout. You have no weight at all in that region. Now Phil's in Japan now. Who knows? He's going to have to fucking live there if he wants to get something worth a damn, because there's no movement over there. And I'm telling you, those Final Fantasy games came to the Xbox because they're going to bring them to the Switch, because there's so much interest in the Switch. And if the Switch comes out with a more powerful one to harness, to get more third-party support, it's because it's growing its install base. When Microsoft's sitting there and, here's what our good friend says. Where does he say it? Right here. This is what he thinks of Xbox, right? This is what he thinks.
Experience with your amazing sound systems, it's all right there. But we know not everybody on the planet is going to go buy a gaming console.
Let's see that again. What did he say again?
Everybody on the planet is going to go buy a gaming console.
But we know everybody
there. But we know not everybody on the planet is going to go buy a gaming console.
But we know everybody on the planet is not going to buy a gaming console. I think he should have highlighted that everybody on the planet is not going to buy their gaming console. But there he goes. That's how much confidence he has in console gaming. Not everybody on the planet is going to buy a gaming console. Isn't that your job as head of Xbox or gaming, Windows gaming, is to make people buy your product? Because I would like to say, when he says that, I'm like, well, 85, 86 million people on PlayStation, yeah. Yeah, that's not everybody, but that's a fucking damn lot. But not everybody's going to buy it. So is this for third world countries? Like, I don't understand this. So not everybody's buying a gaming console. You got to make them buy one by putting unique content to make them go out and buy one. Now, if they can't afford one, unfortunately, I don't think they're going to afford, high-speed internet and 4G capabilities and Xbox controllers to play your game on a tablet. And I understand that is not everybody. There is a ceiling of console gamers. I understand, Dan. Yeah, I know. But are there people out there that would refuse to buy a console that is going to use an Xbox controller and play on their phone? How big is that market? That's the rest of the world? The dude wanted to play Gears of War on his iPad. Is that, is that where is that the other? So Sony would probably hit another 50 million or something like that because there's 50 million people out there that want to play on an iPad on Gears of War. I just don't know if that market is that big for them to make a statement like, oh, not everybody's going to buy a console. I know there's a big gaming market with phones, but those are games that are made for phones. And exactly, why focus on people not interested in gaming consoles? While your fans are asking for more. That's totally, I agree, Savage. That's the problem. The people on the box are not satisfied. So how can you be reaching out people who don't even have an interest in gaming console? That's what I don't understand it. You're not delivering hardcore or amazing games to your core platform, but meanwhile, you want to go reach out. And I think that's their way of kind of using because they realize that the core people have played all those games already. They're like, hey, let's go. And like he says, like people who never seen Gears of War before, let's go get those people. Like that, like the people who never seen Gears of War before, you want them to experience it. Why don't you just take the S, turn it into a $50 machine like it's supposed to be priced because of the performance that it's doing, and go sell it in third world countries where you want to see people who never saw Halo before? Subsidize the S. Take the S, drop it down to $79 to go with the resolution, and sell it. That's a better experience than saying, well, we want you to pay for the subscription, then pay for Xbox Live on your cell phone, and go buy a $65 controller and snap your cell phone into that controller and experience Halo because you never experienced it before. How big is that? How big is that market going to grow? That's where I'm just like, I understand why they're doing it, but you got to reach out with games, and not old games. You got to reach out with experiences. Games that like Fortnite and PUBG, those games came out. People wanted to play them no matter what because they're addicted to the game. So this kind of feeds into the addiction that they could play it anywhere they want to go. That's what you need to create with your games. That's how you cross barriers. That's how you get people to subscribe. You don't just say, hey, I'm going to stream a bunch of old ass games to you from this last generation and 360 generation and think people are going to be like, oh, let me do this. You need to make that gaming crack, basically. The thing that people want to play all the time. And that's starts with games. And he don't believe that people are going to buy consoles. And that's them. He admits that, not everybody wants a console. Well, nobody. I think the problem is if they were sitting at 90 million, I think he wouldn't say that. That's where I come from. I'm thinking if he was sitting right now at 90 million consoles sold, I don't think that he would say like, not everybody's going to buy a console. I think they'll have a different thing. I think that they're so undersold right now with that S and the X. They have not penetrated the global market. This is the only way that they could penetrate the global market is to try to get on the mobile phones. And that's the way to do it. They got to go through this route because to save their gaming division, whatever the hell they want to do, they got to go through this route because they have their S and their X are not selling. And this is the only other thing that they can do is just try to get their stuff on as many devices as possible to save Windows gaming. Because that's what it's about. It's about Windows gaming. They throw Xbox in front of it, but it's not about Xbox. And I said, Xbox, the app. Go look at your phone, Game Pass app. That's it. And my thing is if that's where you want to be, then go be there. If you want to be on the cloud and all that stuff, then go. Exactly, Daniel. Exactly. They're not even close to reaching the console ceiling, yet they want to expand to different markets. It makes no sense. Exactly. They're putting the cart before the horse. They have not made their console appealing enough to sell it, and they have given up on it and basically are just like, yo, let's just go somewhere else. But they don't realize that the reason why their console has not even sold is because they're not offering unique content and amazing games on that console. And because they're not making unique games and amazing content, they think they're going to take the same old bullshit that's on that console and just feed it to other people on PC and Windows and on phone and tablets, feed it to them in a different way and think that they'll find new life. I don't think it works like that. There's a reason why the Xbox is not doing well. It's the bad messaging that they had. It's the confusing messaging with TV. But they had the games then. That's why I was fine. I was like, I wasn't complaining about it. I had Rise. I had Titanfall. I had Halo. I wasn't complaining. I was like, yo, yeah, this I'm along for the ride. But when that shit dried up, the bullshit came to the surface. And they started talking elsewhere. Like, I'm like, whoa, we're done? Like, wait, we're done, man? Yeah, exactly. I didn't care, man. I wasn't complaining. You didn't see my channel. I wasn't yelling about Xbox in 2013. I didn't give a shit. I had games to play. They were satisfying my needs. I was good. And they were doing updates every month, fixing the system. All of a sudden in 2016, man, shit just went AWOL. And they started talking PC and play anywhere. Kumbaya is all games of day one on here. And then they went even crazier with Game Pass. And now they're talking about, and then this year they went fucking bonkers going Dave and Buster's Halo and fucking Gears of PC exclusives. And whoa. Now, like, well, games are on Android phones and iPads. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, yo, we're going fucking crazy now. And this is where it's like, they're all over the place. You can't legitimately look at the console on a store shelf and go, yeah. It's like, well, wait a second. Do you want to buy a game? Do you want to play Game Pass game? Do you want to buy this game? Do you want to do Game Pass? Do you want to subscribe to Games of Gold? You got to play Games of Gold. It is like crazy with the subscriptions. And crazy with the delivery methods. They have so many different ways to. Is it game play anywhere? No, it's not. Is it 4K enhanced? No, it's not. And also, too, as much as I complain about old games, when's the hell the last time that they have done an Xbox X enhancement to old games? Phil said back in April that, this is easy. We just throw it through an emulator. What happened? You know what I think happened? I don't think anybody gave a shit, and nobody bought those games. So they stopped making enhancements to those old Xbox games. I don't think it kicked off the way it was because that original Xbox thing came out in April, and that was it. They haven't done anyone since. No more Xbox games. Now, I know Xbox didn't have tons. Yeah, that's right. Life and time. Microsoft gave up on Xbox because Xbox gave up on gaming. Now they're trying to get us back by targeting non-gaming platforms. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. They know that people are not going to come back to Xbox, so they're like, hey, let's go get them on their phone. Let's go get them where they shit. And it's like, I don't want to say it's desperation, but it's kind of like they had to change their methodologies because they lost their way. They lost their way, and what they needed to do when Sony was messed up with the PlayStation 3 and the price and all that other stuff. The thing is they hunkered down and made games, and Last of Us came out of it. And now the hype with The Last of Us 2. See how they kind of sold you on the next PlayStation. They gave you Last of Us 1 on the PlayStation. Now they're like PlayStation 3. Now they're like, yo, Last of Us 2. Just like right now, they're like, yo, Spider-Man 2, PlayStation 5, God of War 2, PlayStation 5. They're selling you on the next console. They're giving you amazing franchises now in the games that you know that you're going to get a sequel to that game. Same reason why you bought Halo 3, because you know Halo 4 is going to be on the next Xbox, and this Halo 5 is going to be on the next Xbox. And then you see kind of the like, oh, Halo 5. I think 343. I think they need a fucking revamp, because I can't believe how many employees they got working there, and they have not put out anything since Halo 5. And they basically, their job this year was to fix fucking Master Chief Collection. Oh my God. Really? All those employees there, that big studio, a quadruple A, to fix Master Chief Collection? Yeah, you want to know what, Savage? You're right. And what happened to Games First when he came in 2014? You know what now? It's not about Games First. It's about consumer first. That's where they move to. XCloud gonna give it to you. That's right. XCloud's gonna give it to you. It'll give it to you real good. Go play Halo on a fucking touchscreen. They'll give it to you real good. Everybody will give it to you. But it's not about games first, because it's not about the game. It's services first. That's right. It's services. It's consumer first. That's where it is. That's where they're going with it. And what they don't realize is that you're going to get no. You know what's funny? It kind of reminds me of remember, well, we can't remember. We'll always remember the Wii, right? Remember the Wii and how it sold like crazy. Everybody buying the Wii. The grandmas, the cousins, the sisters, uncles, and all this other shit, right? The problem with the Wii was that it didn't go to gamers. And when all the sisters, mothers, and then the grandmas and aunts and uncles and all that other stuff bought the Wii, everybody was just playing the game that it launched with. Nobody was buying the games. And meanwhile, it sold, but it sold to the wrong people. It didn't sell to the gamer. So once you bought that initial console, it just sat there and collected dust with Wii Sports. And I feel that Microsoft seems to be targeting that group. Like, yo, we're going to go get Jimmy John on his tablet sitting over there. He doesn't give a shit about consoles, but he just plays Minecraft all day on his iPad. He's going to want to play now his Halo on his iPad. And they think that's who, and the thing is that those people, they play a different type of game. Like, the thing is, go look at the top 10 games on PC, on mobile phone, and on console. They are totally, you're not even talking about, there are very few games that overlap those platforms. If people are not playing Halo on an iPad, they're not going to play. If they don't care about playing Halo, they're not going to care about playing it on an iPad. Exactly. Jimmy would own an Xbox if he wanted to play Halo. He don't care. And even if he did care, is that a market that's really yearning for these games? That's the thing. If they prefer, that takes a specific skill. They're 3 different platforms. Just like when you look, why is Call of Duty not number 1 on PC? It's all the other games. It's all what is it? The hell is that game? Like Warcraft and what was the other one? The one that everybody watches all the time. Not Age of Empires. I keep thinking Age of Empires. It's the hell, not Legends. League of Legends. Like, there are reasons why certain games excel on certain platforms. It has to do with the input method. It has to do with the gaming nature of that player. And I think Microsoft needs to appreciate that. If you want to make games tailored for PC, then do it. If you want to make games, and Dota too, yeah. If you want to make games tailored for mobile, do it. But also make games made for Xbox. And this is where I have the problem. It's like, it seems like they want to target PC development with Gears Tactics and the Minecraft thing. They want to target the mobile thing with what, that Miami Heat or Miami Rush or whatever the hell that thing is, with the exclusively mobile racing game that they made. But for some reason, they keep selling an Xbox platform, a dedicated gaming console, oozing teraflops. But I haven't seen one iota of news from them saying that we're targeting the console in the development of this game. Just like Aaron Greenberg said on my last thing, that he's like, oh, I always ask this to the devs, and they go, well, they wanted to make sure it works and it's targeted for the PC first. And as you know, if it goes well there, then we'll put it on other platforms. That's Aaron Greenberg's quote from his tweet, talking about the Minecraft not going on Xbox, the Minecraft dungeon crawler. They want to make it specific of a PC because that's where it works. That's where they want it to work. But they don't have a game that, we're making this. Even Rod Ferguson said on Gears of War 5, when he was on the stage at E3, when they had an interview on Inside Xbox, he came in and said that, oh, we're making this game from the ground up, making sure it runs on PC. Like, we're targeting he's like, we'll run this on PC. Where's the focus on the console? Where? It's not there. And my thing is, if Microsoft doesn't care about the console, if Phil believes that nobody's buying it, nobody's gonna that they hit the wall. Yeah, right. Exactly. I can't wait to have XCloud and have mouse and keyboard on my cell phone. And you want to know one other thing? The last thing I want to leave you with is, I remember when people were complaining and upset about Xbox bringing games to PC, and everybody's like, "No, man, why wouldn't they bring to PC? That's their other platform." What do you mean? Oh, well, they have Windows. You're right. So Microsoft has a vested interest in Windows gaming because they own the operating system, right? So Microsoft bringing their games to cell phones and tablets, besides having the app and the possible subscription, what hardware are they trying to sell? They don't have a phone, they don't have a mobile operating system, and they don't have a dedicated tablet. They got a laptop, but that's already PC. They don't have a phone. And Microsoft has been aching ever since they let Apple and Google fight it out, and they try to get in with Nokia. They have failed consistently on a mobile strategy. They cannot break into the mobile market. They've tried it with Windows S, with a simple operating system that you only could download apps from the Windows Store, no Win32. People complained about it. They go, I'm buying a Windows Surface laptop at $1,300 and you're giving me Windows S? Oh, it's going to be for a limited time offer. You could upgrade to open it up for that. After that, we're going to charge you. Well, people complained about it, and Microsoft scrapped the whole Windows S. That now it's just, you could just upgrade automatically, and they'll try to put it on there, but they're trying to just make you buy stuff from the Windows Store. Because they wanted to have a closed mobile operating system trying to reach and then they want to still to this day want to put Windows on ARM processors to try to compete with the iPad. They can't touch it. And because Apple is not pulling the fuck shit. Apple's like, here's your MacBook. There's dedicated apps for this thing because that's a special one that requires a keyboard. And here's our iPad because that is special, unique input for those iPad users. So those who want an iPad and have a touch interactive experience, you will buy them from that store. And those who want a laptop will buy that. But Apple, just make them the same device. No, they're two specialized devices. Microsoft's like, one device for it all. How did that work with the Xbox One? TV, snapping. You could be a jack of all trades and master of none. And unfortunately, I would wish that Microsoft would be a jack of all trades and a master of games, because you're not worth anything as a gaming platform. If you want to leave the gaming platform and just go kumbaya and be a service and push Azure Cloud and deliver games to people all over the world, then do it. But you got to realize that you are also selling a $500 and a $300 product that you're expecting people to buy, and that plays games that you're not making. So they bought the studios. Now we wait. Now we make Phil Spencer bedtime stories. What if they buy this? So what if they announce Fable? What if Playground's not making Fable? What if Playground's making Fable, but then they buy Quantum, they buy the other guy, other studios. Oh, they're gonna buy this. Oh, they're gonna buy Playful. Oh my goodness, they're gonna buy that guy. They're gonna buy Playful, Lucky's Tales. They're gonna buy them. Why are we wanting to buy studios? What is this buying studios bullshit? You want to know why Microsoft is buying studios? My belief is because the developers will not use their Microsoft Windows bullshit and will not use their services and architecture and model and UWPs and ABCs. They don't care because Microsoft does not have the gaming penetration that it once had. And devs are not wasting their time with it. So in order for Microsoft to get game developers to utilize their services, their infrastructure, their delivery systems, all that other stuff, they have to buy the studios so that they could put mandates. Well, you got to make it UWP. You got to make it on Windows 10 and Xbox Day 1. We own you now. Now you got to do that. You got to use Simplegon. You got to use something else. You got to support Day 1 Game Pass. Now we own you. So now you must utilize our services and stuff. And that's the thing. And by Microsoft using their bought studios to make those games, then they have something where they could be like, hey, Ubisoft, look how well our studio delivered this game. It did so well on Game Pass. Would you like to put a game on Game Pass? Now they got numbers. But for Capcom and Ubisoft and Activision just to go out there and just embrace Microsoft services, it's not happening. Just look at Play Anywhere. Now they got studios that will support Game Anywhere and Play Anywhere. Why? Because they bought them. Did Ninja Theory put Hellblade on Play Anywhere? Like, these guys wouldn't have done this without Microsoft. Now they own them. So my feeling is that they're buying these studios so that they can make sure that their services, their cloud, all their things are utilized. And those are great demos so that they could then go around and try to sell this. But this whole buying studios thing, it's like, guys, Playground's been with them. State of the K2, Undead Lab's been making games for them. Like, we have to see. And I said, we don't know what they're making. Ninja Theory could be like, yeah, you know what? We want to make a puzzle game. Releasing this fall. And you're like, huh? Just look at what is it? The Minecraft devs, right? The who are they? Mojang, right? They made Minecraft and they're like, we're gonna make our first new IP game. They made Cobalt. How did that do? It was some sort of rogue-like side-scroll puzzle, like some puzzle game. That was the next game from Mojang. Oh my God, the next game from Mojang, Cobalt. Yeah. So, you know what? It all depends. And we'll see. Again, we wait to XO18. We waited to E3. Meh. We waited Gamescom. Meh. Now we wait to XO18. Just to hear about what games they're doing. What's up, Blue? How you doing? Benji, what's up, man? How are you gonna hold the screen? What screen on the thing? You got the contraption. They're gonna sell you now a controller with a fucking bracket, so you go plug your phone into it. But yo, guys, hit the like button, share the video out. But we'll see. You know, again, the whole point of this thing, you gotta make the games and the services will follow. And, you know, the fact that we don't know what's going on with games and crackdowns and belows and actions and you know, what the Gears 5 is going to look like and what Ori is and all these games, we don't know. Instead, they use their time to show third-party games that everybody's getting instead of the exclusives that they have. But they could come out and do a video on a Monday going like, yeah, the cloud beta coming next year. This is the future. This is to reach everybody. They'd share that. No problems. But ask him about Crackdown. Oh, yeah. I don't like to talk too early about games. Really. Well, we'll see. Hashtag priorities. This is you got boy, Jez7780. Like video, share it out. I appreciate the subscribers. I appreciate the support, guys. I'm glad the people out there, you know, we feel this way. Like, I just feel like it's about the games. That's what it's all about. And they should be talking that to sell the next console because they're going to be in a tough predicament next year, man. Or whenever they announce this next console, it's going to be like, you know, what I'm going to do is standing in line for the Scarlet, playing the launch lineup on my phone while I'm waiting in line. I don't know. Is that the future? Who knows? But I just, you know, games first and services. But I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks again. I appreciate everybody coming out. And I'm out.